Hey, what's up, folks? How you doing? It's Jamie here. Thanks for joining me in this presentation. I'm going to be going through a couple of ways that you can start to make bank online. Now, this is catered for people that perhaps you're looking at investing in yourself and your self-education, building a business online, but you're not quite at that level of financial capacity in order to do so. I completely understand how it is. Went bankrupt many moons ago, so I understand financial pressure is probably a lot better than a lot of people as well. So what I'm going to go through here is a bit of a presentation. This is not an exhaustive list. There are many other ways that you can do this. I just thought it might help to give you guys a bit of an idea as to what you can start doing from home, from comfort of your couch, if you like, in order to start making a bit of extra dosh on the side. Right, I'm just going to give it a couple of moments, see who jumps on. If you do happen to jump on, of course, smash that like button, drop a comment below, and let me know if there's any questions as we're going through. Otherwise, I will roll it. All right, Ski. It's my new terminology for today. Hope you're having a great weekend, everyone, as well. Give me a sec there. Groovy. All right. So, as some of you know, I deal in, as well as other stuff, of course, high-ticket affiliate marketing. And the reality is, though, not everyone has the financial capacity in order to invest in themselves. And there are two people on different sides of the spectrum here. One is everything should be free and I'm never going to invest in myself ever, and business is all, any time you have to invest in something to start a business, then it must be a scam. And so that's one people. They aren't my people. On the other side, there's people that know that investing in themselves is how they're going to grow as a human being, how they're going to grow their business if that's what they're into. And they might just be lacking the financial capacity in order to invest just at this very moment. So this is more catered for you guys, plus anyone else that just wants to learn a few things about perhaps some other ways that you can start to make money from home. All right, so I got you covered. Don't worry. Pull up a pew. So like I say, in this presentation, I'm going to go through quite a few ways that you can start to make little bit of extra cash or potentially a lot of extra cash, depending on what you're actually looking at doing. If you are in that latter camp that I did mention, you might want to consider this as perhaps seed capital in order to invest in your further education and growth of your own business. Just like if you're interested in learning more about what I'm up to, drop a comment below. The Super Affiliate Accelerator, which is the program I'm a coach for, is actually going up in value in the 15th of September. So feel free to drop a comment there. Happy to discuss whether that's the right option for you. Otherwise, just pay attention and you'll learn some stuff. Right, let's dive into it. So, as old as the hills, eBay. You can sell some stuff on eBay. Now, if you are like me, and I'm trying to declutter a little bit now, but I have a lot of stuff lying around. So I'm sure that if I was to walk all the way over there, which you guys, it's obviously off screen for you, but it's like about 4 meters away. There's probably some stuff I can find in my home that I could go and put on eBay. And this may sound very simple in advice. However, I still don't think a lot of people are doing it. You can also do other things like arbitrage, which I'll go into a little bit deeper as well. So you can also sell your stuff on the Facebook marketplace as well. There are a lot of things out there that people are vying for. They are in hot demand, no matter what the economy is doing, all that sort of stuff. And if you have some of those items, sometimes you can arbitrage. You can buy it one place for cheap, you can sell it at another place for expensive. Think about those unique opportunities that you can actually create for yourself as you go through this. As I just mentioned, arbitrage opportunities, and they are actually, there's a lot of them out there. So the biggest one used to be, and I don't know if you can still do this to the same degree as you used to, but you'd be able to buy something on eBay, and then you'd jump over to old Amazon, and you'd be able to, sorry, other way around. You'd be selling it on eBay, you'd be buying it on Amazon. So Amazon obviously takes care of all the shipping, all that sort of stuff, and I think they reduced the impact or reduced the ability to do that as best as my understanding. However, I believe there is still a way that you can get away with it by ticking this little box when you go and actually send the item off to call it a gift, and that will allow you to do that. So you're not usually looking at huge margins. You might be looking at like a markup of $5 or $6, maybe more, maybe I don't know really what the products are. However, if you're doing that in bulk and you're selling 100 of those a day, you're still doing it right? It's not too bad. And you can do things like I say, Amazon versus Marketplace, or eBay versus Marketplace, or buy stuff on Marketplace and then arbitrage it on eBay. If you're in the States, I know that it's a popular thing to jump onto the likes of Walmart and sell those types of things, and garage sales on eBay, all that type of stuff as well. One of the things that you can do specifically with eBay and garage sales in particular is you can go and have a look at what those items are likely to sell for at a garage sale, and then if you see them there, you can haggle down price and all that sort of stuff. So it does take a little bit of seed capital, of course, but be able to get this started for probably less than $100, I would assume. Right. So you can go to places like Airtasker, and and I think there's a bunch of different websites out there that do the same thing, but you can sell your services. It can be as simple as delivering stuff. Go to Deliveroo, Uber Eats, deliver stuff, right? Like, you're probably not going to be a millionaire at the end of the day, but it is still a little bit of extra cash flow, and it's something that you can do around your current lifestyle as well. So Airtasker is another one, and sometimes they have some really unique things that you can do. It might be like grocery shopping for your elderly neighbor, or anything like that. And again, like I say, the goal is not to be a trillionaire out of it. It's really just to develop a little bit of extra cash flow. You can go to the sites like guru.com and sell your services. So if you are experienced in some form of marketing or graphic design or virtual assistant services, or you're really good at WordPress, or you're really good on Microsoft Word for that matter, or you're a ninja when it comes to Excel, there are people on there that are looking for these services, so you can actually put yourself out there and start to sell those services. You are exchanging time for money, of course, but like I say, it's really just to develop that seed capital for other things that you're doing. Another one, arbitrage in your local area. So again, you can go to local businesses. You can do things like you can sell email marketing to them. Hardly any restaurants, for example, they have a crappy follow-up process in place for the most part. They have crappy SMS, they have crappy, if usually non-existent email marketing. So imagine if you went to a local restaurant and you said, hey, I'm a bit of a marketing ninja, and what I can do is help you with your email and SMS and get more clients back. And as if you've had a good experience, it's always easier to sell to people that have had a good experience with your business rather than keep trying to find new patrons all the time. So if you help them out with that, then you can actually arbitrage that management to actual social media companies. And you can even go onto sites like guru.com and hire someone for cheap and arbitrage that, which is pretty damn cool, right? Social media management, same thing. Just find someone to manage it, manage those things for you. You can go for people that are in the States, I don't think Craigslist is a massive thing here in Oz, but for the States, I know it is. So you go to Craigslist and you look for wanted services, and it could be quite literally, and I've seen ads for it. I was experimenting with this a little while ago. You can have ads there, and it's like, I am willing to pay $300 for a graphic designer. So you go there and you find that and you say, cool, well, I'll tell you what, I will do this. I'll take this job for you. And then you can jump onto Fiverr and you can hire someone for, say, $100. And guess what? You just make yourself $200. Nice and easy. Right. You can sell products on Etsy. If you find yourself, if you're crafty and you're good with the old knitting needles or whatever it is, the painting and the thing and the crafts and all that sort of stuff, you can go and sell those things on Etsy. There's an entire marketplace filled with buyers, and if you're able to put your stuff on there, you can make some cash. You can test apps. There is, oh man, it's been a little while. There's a site that you can go onto. It's called like Lion something that will come to me after I stop recording. But you can actually test apps for people, of companies. They want you to go through and try and break certain processes. And so that way it allows them to refine the programming for their apps and softwares and things like that. So you can actually get paid for it, which is kind of cool. You get paid for market research. I signed up to something maybe 8 years ago, and I still get emails from it. And it's like, we're running a test group. It's $300 cash, $100 cash, $50 vouchers for XYZ. Again, I'm not claiming that this is going to get you tons of cash, but there's still a little bit of extra. It's not bad. If you sit in on a, what do you call it? Like a focus group, for example, about your shopping habits, and you get paid $100 cash at the end of it. It's like, well, it's probably not a bad use of 1 hour, right? You can go to Bear Money. And so this is a thread on Reddit. Okay. And so it is all exactly what I'm saying here. It's basically the money that you can derive from doing this type of stuff, enough to pay for a couple of beers at the end of the week, right? So check out that thread. A lot of it is things like app testing. It is things that like different crypto stuff that people are doing, all that type of stuff. So check that out on Reddit. It's really, really cool. You can host a garage sale. Now, of course, you might need to consider the ramifications of doing it right at this very moment with this, this virus going around. However, you can still do that, and you can still make quite a bit of cash out of that as well. And I'm sure there's some way that you can adapt that. I'm sure you could do some form of like online auction-y video conference garage sale. Maybe there's a business in that. Maybe there's sort of something. It might be a multi-million-dollar business just there. That'd actually be kind of cool. You go and record your items, and you do it in like a live auction, and you can actually, no shit, that would be a really good business. Someone should do that, and then just say that I gave you the idea. Thanks. So you can write on medium.com. So Medium is a rather large website. I think it's within the top 200 websites, mostly visited websites in the world. And so there's a couple of ways you can monetize off the back of that. Number one is you can actually direct link your affiliate links, or you used to be able to. Have checked in recent times, to be fair, but you used to be able to directly link your affiliate links to your affiliate products. So whether you're selling something on Amazon, you can go pick a topic and write about it. If you're selling digital stuff, you can write about that, do reviews, and add those links there as well. Or you can actually link it back to your sites, and it does have a bit of credibility with it, because obviously medium.com is a pretty big site. The other way is after you've written there for an extended period of time, and I don't know what the parameters are and what they are allowing people these days, but you can become a partner. So that's where, kind of like with Google AdSense, you can actually receive a little bit of revenue for every click of people clicking onto your article. And if there's ad space there, then you can revenue share with that as well. There's all sorts of sites you can do that with. You can become a Quora partner. So Quora.com is where you go and ask and answer questions. And if you spend some time answering questions there, and eventually you can get to this point where you get an invite to become a partner. And the same thing applies. You can actually put up quality answers to things, and they will spit out cash in a very small amount, I believe, unless you're doing it full time, over an extended period, which I think is kind of cool. So passive income, where you get passive income. You can also sell your photos and your videos. There are sites out there, and I don't have reference to one just at the moment. You have to really want this. You have to go and do research after you jump off this video. But you can go out there and you can literally sell videos. You can sell your videos as Creative Commons, and you can sell your photos. If you've got some really funky travel photos, for example, people all around the world, they want fresh content, and they're happy to pay for that. I don't know what the rates are going for, but it is something that you can use to monetize, which is pretty cool. Qme, which this is something where you get paid to search. It's kind of cool. And the reason for that is because basically, I don't know why they would do it. I don't know why anyone would pay you to search. But no, I'm kidding. What it is they want to work out how their search results pop up, basically. And so they will get reference from different user experiences on the website, what it actually looks like to search, all that type of stuff as well. And they probably show you some sort of ads, I would imagine. So you can start a YouTube channel. I'm not going to say it's a fast burn. This is not, it's like a short fuse. This is something that's going to take a little while. My channel's been around since I think I set up in 2017. I didn't really do anything with it at that time. I actually started putting videos on it in 2018. I've got like 400 and something videos on there now. And, it makes me a good bit of cash, but it's been it's a long time, right? You have to be pretty consistent with it. So 2 ways you can go about this. Number one is you can build your own brand. And that's what I've got, Jamie-G.com or Jamie G Online. It's all about me and talking about marketing stuff, blah, blah, blah. So that's one way you can do it, if you're happy to show your face, of course. The other way you can do this is you can actually be behind the scenes and not be known as someone who has their face on YouTube at all. But you don't even need to create the videos. You can actually outsource that. So what you do is you look for what they call Creative Commons. And when you do a search on YouTube, you type in the keyword that you're after, blah, 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 and then there's an option there that says filter. You click on that and you select Creative Commons. Creative Commons basically means that someone has given rights in order for reuse and repurposing. So it doesn't mean that you just download a video and re-upload it. It has to have significant changes to it, and you do want to make sure that you are across the terms and conditions from using those particular licensed videos, but you can still do that. And so what people do is they will put together like mixtapes of fails or funny stuff or driving or things that people have found funny at a different time, or baseball stuff or whatever, right? And so they put their own backing tracks on that and they mix them up and they have nice what do you call it, transitions and all sorts of fancy stuff. And those people, I know of people that are making about 30K a month from doing that. So it's takes its time, but you can certainly build those up, especially if you get a bit of virality behind some of them. But like I say, do your homework in terms of what you are and are not allowed. I mentioned this one before, but delivery driver, Uber, Deliveroo, what's that other dude called? The big panda thing, whatever. I don't know what your kids are into these days, but can go and do delivery driving. You can write on Kindle. And again, I don't know if this is something that's going to be immediate in terms of like, oh yeah, it's made like $20,000 in a month from doing it. Yes, you will get to that point if you keep at it. And I would assume you probably need quite a few books listed on Kindle in order to get to that level. And there are people out there that are doing that, of course. However, things that you can do is things like taking advantage of holidays. So I put up a journal on Amazon Kindle for 2020. And it was just because I actually wanted the journal. I wanted a journal for the new year, but also decided to sell it. And so I wasn't making a ton of cash out of it, but I still managed to make a few sales. So therefore, I got remunerated from putting stuff on Kindle. Pretty cool, right? So you can make use of holidays and things that are coming up. Anyway, hope that helps. Clickworker. So this is not going to pay much at all, but a clickworker is someone that basically gets paid to do microtasking. So this would be as an example, maybe someone pays you to do a search for a video, and so they might pay you like 5 cents for searching for this video, going onto that video, watching maybe a couple of minutes of it and hitting the like button, maybe dropping a comment. So it's not going to drive huge revenue, but it is easy to get involved in. So there is more. I almost surprised myself there. There's more. You can sell a gig on Fiverr. So this is similar to likes of Guru.com, for example, where you're putting things out there. So you can sell a gig on Fiverr. You can, again, you can try and arbitrage it if you like. So you sell something and then get someone else to fulfill that. Review music for money. So there's a site, it's called Slice the Pie. And you can actually review music and get paid for it, which is pretty damn cool, if you ask me. Again, I don't think you're going to get a ton of cash off the back of that, but I think it's, it is something that if you're doing it anyway, you might as well get paid for it, right? You can also go onto different sites and you can sell your study notes. So if you're a student and you have taken extensive notes for the classes that you're involved in, there are other students that would want to take those notes and use them because they skipped class. Maybe they were a little bit hungover. They decided to not rock up to the lecture the way that they should have. And so therefore they are willing to pay the price to get the study notes in order to get better results on their exams. Pretty cool stuff. So you can enter competitions as well, because the process of entering them can be mildly tedious. It means that a lot of the time when you have random competitions that are out there and you think, what's the point, because it's probably going to be quite competitive. There was actually people, there was a little kind of not an article, what do you call it, like on one of those Today Tonight type shows or something like that, a while back here in Melbourne, and there was these ladies that were absolutely smashing. They're getting all sorts of things like cars and like 30 grand prize money and travel vouchers and food and restaurant, like all the stuff, because they were spending the time to actually enter them. And again, this isn't a cash prize. Sorry, for the most part, it's not going to be a cash prize. But if you win a car, you can kind of, you can sell it or you can drive around or whatever, right? So there's a whole bunch of things like that. And again, it's an unknown. You don't know if you're going to win, of course, but it's something you can do. You can flip domains. So what you can do is jump over to expireddomains.net. And what that is, it's a list of, I'm not going to say it's all the expired domains, but it's a big chunk of expired domains. So what you can do is go have a look at those and have a look at certain keywords that they might represent. So for example, if you were to type in affiliate marketing, because you know affiliate marketing is quite a big niche in general terms, and so it might be like affiliate marketing.io, and it's just expired, and you can pick that up. Then when you pick that up, you can then put it onto auction sites, or you can hold on to it and hopefully get a buyer, or you can just put a site on it and then jump onto the likes of flipper.com and hawk it off. So you're actually kind of just flipping it, as the name suggests, right? So real life case study of this is I happened to buy one time, it was called teamphillips.com. And so Team Phillips was, well, Phillips is the electronics company, but Team Phillips was the racing yacht for Phillips, and so Team Phillips, and so for the America's Cup and stuff like that. So somehow I ended up buying that domain. I think it had just expired, and I think the team disbanded. But it was a pretty popular site for quite some time. It had pretty good rankings within the America's Cup sort of crowd that was searching for it. So I put an electronic kind of website thing, and then I was directing affiliate links over to Amazon, and did okay, because clearly if it's on Phillips and Team Phillips, then it redirects to electronic stuff, then in theory should do okay, even though it was completely different because it was like yachts versus electronic. Anyway, so it got to the point where I was making some sales through that, but then it wasn't enough. I was like, this is kind of pointless me holding on to it. So do I really need to spend the $20-30 or whatever it is when the domain came up for renewal? And I thought, nah, don't need this. And so I let it lapse. But if you go and search teamphillips.com right now, it was for sale a little while ago, and they were asking something like $3,000 or something, and I nearly cried. Not that clearly, if in the off chance it's still for sale, then clearly they haven't sold it. Maybe it was fine for me to get rid of it. Point being is that you'd be surprised at the value some of these things have. That's where I was going with that. You can walk dogs. There's actually an app, and forgive me, I don't know the name of the app off the top of my head, but there's an app that you can download, and it finds all the neighborhood doggos in your neighborhood, and people will pay you to walk their dog. They perhaps corporate high flyers, they don't get home enough, don't spend enough time with the dog, and keeps ripping up the house, so they will pay someone to come and walk the dog for them, which I think that would be a dream job. I would love that. Peer-to-peer lending. So you do need a little bit of cash flow for this, of course, but you can start off pretty small. There are quite a few sites that do allow that now, and it can be for all sorts of different projects. A lot of the time, it's not necessarily that they are, it's a dodgy investment or anything of that nature. It's just that people quite often will want to go through a non-conforming lender in order to get different types of finance. So there's another way to word it is called mezzanine finance, but there's actually sites out there that you can go to that will allow you to put in a very small input, sometimes as much as little as $100, for example, and you might get like a 5 to 8% return, so to speak. Still risk, in fact, highly risky, I'd imagine, but still another way, right? You can do clinical trials. I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't really recommend this, to be honest. However, desperate times, right? They're going to be trialed somewhere, so you can actually get paid for clinical trials depending on the nature of the trials themselves. You actually watch videos. So there's a site called Swagbucks, and it's a Chrome extension as well. In fact, I think it might have changed recently. I don't think it's called Swagbucks anymore, but there's a couple of variants of it. It's like Swagbucks, and then there was another one that was called it'll come to me. Anyway, doesn't matter. So point being is that there's sites out there where they will actually rebate you for your shopping. So if you click on the little app and then you happen to do your normal shopping online that you would anyway, you actually get a rebate, so an actual monetary cash back in your account. And then the other thing is sometimes they will pay for certain things, such as, like I say, watching videos, which is kind of cool. And again, don't think for a moment you're going to make tons of cash off that. It's really just because it's there. It's giving you guys some more options to look at. So another way is to trade the financial markets. And look, do your research. Super, super, super high risk. Only trade with money you're prepared to lose, because most people will lose money. So it's coming from someone who has made and lost a significant amount of cash over their trading career, as well as being working in the financial markets for quite a few years. But you can do ridiculous things with the financial markets. An amazing best record I have was I think I turned $124 into like 14 grand overnight in about 8 hours of trading. It was like a robot. It was just mental. Anyway, and then I blew it all because that's what you do after you've been, taking these mega high risks. You think you can retire in about a week and a half at that rate, and then you take bigger and bigger risks, and then you blew it all. But that would happen quite often, and it is a skill that if you can master your emotions around money and detach from it and see the probabilities and the numbers as opposed to just like taking big gambles, then you can do pretty well with it. Anyway. I think that's it. Oh, betting arbitrage. Yeah, another way. So, oh man, there's so many things. I've tried a lot of these as well. Not all of them, of course, but I've tried a few. So, betting arbitrage. What you do is you go onto, there's two ways of doing it actually. One is you go onto a site and say, for example, they are offering, I don't know. I don't even know how to do the kind of calculations in my head, so bear with me, but I'll explain the principle as best as I understand it. So, you might have odds of, say, 1.9 for X team to win. But on the other side, you might have, what is that? So let's say it's 1.8 for the other team to win. Hang on, no, I'm getting that mixed up. There's one where you cannot lose, basically. You've got they call it like a butterfly spread almost. It's kind of like you've got you're betting on one team and then you're betting on another team. But the difference in the odds mean that there's an arbitrage opportunity between those. I know that's not really making that much sense. I apologize. So that's one way. The other way that you can do that is, and this is not something that is available in Australia as far as I'm aware. Don't quote me on that. But I know in the UK they have something called lay betting. And all that means is that you are betting on something to lose. And so what you can do is you can actually arbitrage that. And again, the same thing happens. You've got multiple brokers in these situations. You're betting against, say, one horse, and then you're also simultaneously betting against it in another broker. So therefore, one's going to lose, one's going to win. There's an arbitrage opportunity there. That's about as much as I know about that. Go do your research. There is opportunity there. I know that much. But anyway, that's about it. You can also sell websites. It's something that I did many moons ago, back in like 2012. I had a local business in Australia called mobilewebsiteservices.com.au. And unsurprisingly, it was to sell websites to small business. And so obviously everything is mobile adaptable these days, but back then it wasn't. And so therefore there's huge opportunity with being able to sell a mobile device fitted website to a business. But you can still do the same thing now. Think like outside the box with this one. If you are, for example, an affiliate with, I don't know, ClickFunnels or Builderall or Thrive Themes or it doesn't really matter, any of those. Whatever, it's fine, right? But let's assume it's ClickFunnels because that's I have to say that because I won the 2 Com Club award with them. But I'm just kidding. Please don't listen to this, Russell. I'm sorry. No, again, I'm joking. But the point being is that if you're able to sell the design of the funnel, if they've got a really horrendous website and they're losing business, basically, you can go and you can sell a website to them. And if you would rather aim at the affiliate side of things, just get that recurring month after month, then you can sell them the idea of building it out for them for the price of $100 a month. And because most businesses, they're not exactly going to go, oh, I need to cut my fees, and the biggest fee that I need to cut is my website. I don't like that guy. So it's probable that there will be a sense of longevity with those customers. And so therefore you can take, there's probably all sorts of templates out there that you can go. If you want to, I'd probably encourage you to charge an upfront fee as well, because don't work for free. That's ridiculous. So, and then same thing as before, arbitrage. So you can find someone else that can actually do the work for you. There's a whole bunch of funnel designers out there. And if you're selling something for X amount and then you're outsourcing that, there's an arbitrage opportunity there, which is freaking awesome. Last but not least, oh God, heaven forbid that you'd have to go do this, but go get a job. That's another way. Get a part-time gig or something if you got time and energy for it. Not a perfect solution, but it is something that surprisingly does actually pay. Who'd have thunk it? Right. So affiliate marketing, building a brand. That's what I do. That's what I've done. It's what a bunch of our students have done and are still doing with a great deal of success as well. And so, having done not everything on this list, but having done a bunch of stuff on this list, I can say categorically that building a brand in the affiliate marketing space has been, in my experience, the most efficient way I've found in order to make money online. And I say that because, yes, it might be easier just to buy a domain and then flip it for $30 extra or whatever, but the value of doing that is completely different than selling, say, a high-ticket item that pays you like $1,000 or more per sale. And so therefore, there's a bit of a disconnect a lot of the time. So you're doing some of these things and you're getting, you're listening to a song to get your whatever up, and you get paid like 10 cents per song, but there's only so many hours in the day, so you have to listen to like 9,000 in order to get any decent sense of revenue. And this is why I say it's the most efficient, because you have that ability to continue building your brand. Doesn't just stop, continue building it, and then, like I say, being able to sell things like high ticket items, it means that the lifetime customer value is a lot higher as well. So this has been a big ramble. Hopefully you guys got some massive value out of this. I'm just going to scoot back over to my screen here, see what we've got, if anything. If I can find it. Here we go. What is up? Yeah, sports betting with a local bookie. There you go. So that's probably not a bad way of doing it. What's up, Brian? Amanda, how you doing? ClickSnap, there you go. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Creative Commons in Australia. I feel like I've downloaded a Creative Commons before. Or you can just use a VPN. You didn't hear that from me. Who doesn't want to see it, eh? What was that in relation to? Gosh. Yeah, domain flipping is kind of cool. I've done it a few times. But yeah, like I say, I think my take on it is unless you strike a decent sort of decent URL, then I think the value that you're going to derive from selling like a high ticket item through affiliate marketing is going to be higher. Sports betting with a local bookie. I'm Ron Burgundy. Yeah, clinical tests, strange side effects. Yeah, I would imagine that would be the case, actually. Yeah, just be mindful of that. I almost left it off the list for that exact reason. Just do your research. None of this has been advice, by the way. None of it is health or financial advice. I'm just saying there's plenty of opportunity out there for those of you that are resourceful, I guess. Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah, actually, just in relation to that comment, sports betting with a local bookie, I think that if you were to, you'd probably find better arbitrage opportunities with a local bookie as well, because they are, usually speaking, to my understanding, are deriving their prices and their odds, of other markets that are available. So yeah. Anyway, any questions, folks? Otherwise, I'm going to scoot off. Go and continue this is my work day. No rest for the wicked. Sunday's always a work day for me. Yes, I can. Jamie, can you talk a little bit more about what you did to build your brand? Well, that's a very good question. And I apologize, it's only just popping up as Facebook user for me, so let that go, dude. Yeah, so building my brand. First thing you need to do is, in my opinion, get clear about who it is you believe you can serve based on your current life experience and the knowledge that you have absorbed and the knowledge that you will continue to absorb later on. Because when you start with that, what it means is that you kind of know what you can speak about and what you will be. And it's such a kind of bollocks line to throw out there, but it's what you'll be passionate about. And when I say passionate, I don't necessarily mean like, oh my God, this is, I love the creating websites and doing all this stuff. It's amazing. What I mean is that you don't mind the idea of creating content about your chosen topic for an extended period of time, let's say 6 months to a year. Because what happens is if you are prepared to go down that pathway and you're producing content for 6 months to a year without any form of remuneration whatsoever, you'll find that the habit of doing that, it starts to release dopamine. And when you're able to associate your dopamine with what it is you're doing, all of a sudden, guess what? It becomes fun. So the habit of producing content and doing the stuff then becomes enjoyable. So therefore, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy in terms of chasing your passion, so to speak. So start with that in mind. The other thing is you can adjust course, by the way. Like, to give you an idea, I started this very group actually in 2017. And the whole goal with it was because I was running ads for small business at the time. So I thought, well, if I get a whole bunch of business owners in here and I'm able just to say, here's how to run some ads. And if you'd like us to take care of that for you, then reach out type thing. And that was kind of the goal originally. But then I was like, this is not as enjoyable as I thought it was, because I wasn't getting any dopamine whatsoever from running ads. It was not quite what I had anticipated. So therefore, I pivoted to affiliate marketing, which I've been doing for, let's say, 6.5, 7 years at that point anyway. So I thought, might as well just give this a nudge. And so then it's really just a matter of setting expectations for yourself and not really buying into some of the BS that's out there. And what I mean by that is, because we're marketers, we know the buying triggers for people, right? So because we're involved in this shit like all day, every day, we love it. And so what I mean by that is, if you look at the general scale of things, people are into easy. If you think about anyone, if you go, oh, what's your dream holiday? And for a lot of people, as a generalization, it is it's a beach somewhere and I'm sipping Mai Tais and just enjoying myself and life is really relaxing. It's never like, oh, I'm going to go into this like super stressful environment. Can't wait. It's going to be amazing. Like the holidays aren't designed like that. It's always about easy and relaxing stuff, which means when you apply that to everyday life, this is how products get developed in general, because they see something, that could be done easier, or there's something more efficient that can be done there. So where I'm going with all this is that if you are a little bit more cautious to some of the stuff that's out there in terms of the sales tactics, that's easy and blah, blah, and you have realistic expectations of, say, okay, I'm going to just build a brand for a year and a half. Let's see what happens. And I will try to make money out of it. I'll try to monetize my audience, but I'm not going to put that pressure on myself to do so. And I'm just going to go through and see what happens and learn as much as I can and build this excitement around doing it and whatever. Then people build into that energy. The other thing to bear in mind is that you can have a brand of like 5 people that follow you. It doesn't have to be huge, right? And what tends to happen is it becomes almost like this sort of like a big snowball, like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you end up going out there and you help 5 people out, and then it's kind of like, oh man, it's almost like selling you guys an MLM or something. So you help those 5 people out, and then they help 5, and then they all pay you. Yeah, it's great. No, so where I'm going with that is, let's say hypothetically that you're in the initial stages, you're just starting out, you're like, I want to build a personal brand. Then you go out there and you find people that you can serve and that you can help. It doesn't have to be huge, but what tends to happen is when you are genuinely able to serve your audience in some way, based on the knowledge that you currently have, and it could just be as simple as, hey, I just learned this thing. I just sat through this like 30, 40-minute training that this dude did, and I learned a whole bunch of ways that I can now go and monetize. So whether you actually go and actually act upon anything I just mentioned, or you just go, hey, man, I just learned some stuff. So now all of a sudden you've got all these different bits of content that you can, I guess, leverage off. And so when you do leverage that and you're able to genuinely help people out and you're authentic and you're not afraid to look like a bit of a knob sometimes, then people either really just kind of like you or they don't. And that is self-manifesting. It keeps growing. You become more confident in what you're doing and the content you're putting out there, all that sort of stuff, and it kind of just builds. There's, of course, strategies in order to get yourself out there. One thing I do highly recommend is, if you're going down this pathway of building a brand, think about how you can create some sort of like energy around yourself. Because if you are able to do that, and when I say energy, I mean like you're putting focused energy into connecting with people and helping other people out, and you're jumping onto different groups, for example, and you're being notorious within those groups. I don't necessarily mean in a dark way. I mean quite literally just you happen to have some sort of presence and you're building that sort of like, man, this person is everywhere. It's like, that's the perception that you want to give off. That there, it's amazing. Other thing as well is spend some time working on your actual offer itself, right? So pick one product to start with. You don't need a whole bunch of them. Pick one product to start with and you can leverage that basically. But spend some time thinking about how you can make that product better for the end user. How can you create something that is awesome and help someone else out? And basically kicks butt. And when you're able to do that and you spend time crafting that offer, that in itself is also going to be really compelling. So if you're able to help one person, they jump into your offer, like I say, it becomes kind of like self-manifesting after a while. Hopefully that helps. So I'll give you, because I just reread that question, I realized it was quite specific to me, whereas that one was more like generalized for the audience, so to speak. But how did I build my brand? I started off going live in 4 different places at once. So four different groups on Facebook was my first thing. I already had another YouTube channel that had 70 videos on it, and old YouTube smited me one day. I just woke up and it was gone. Don't know why. So lost the traction there. So I started this one that for those of you that are tuning in via YouTube that I'm now on. So I was going for live 4 places, plus doing a YouTube video, plus building my email list, plus building 2 different chatbot lists. What else? Plus looking after my group and stuff in general, and plus pages. I had a whole bunch of different Facebook pages out there. So I was doing a lot of stuff. Plus I was on Quora answering questions every day. Plus I was on Twitter every day. I actually had multiple Twitter accounts. Plus I was trying to do stuff on Instagram. Plus I was writing on a blog. I was also writing on Medium. So I was doing a fair bit of stuff, to be fair. I was burning myself out, and there was no specific lever in my business that I could pull and money would spit out the other side. And so I guess, sorry, this has been really long-winded, but when I got rid of all that stuff, thanks to the help of Jacob, sort of helped me rip the layers away of my business, and I was left with just a few key details to focus on every day. And when I was able to focus on those key details, my brand grew bigger and quicker, and I guess stronger than I sort of anticipated prior to that. So I could have just summed that up and said, just focus. Yeah. Very roundabout way of saying it. Just stay focused. Any other questions, folks? Hopefully that actually helps answer the question there. The way that I see it, so to give you a bit of an idea, I've been doing this stuff for like 10 years or whatever it is, in affiliate marketing in general. But the way that I view it is in less than 2 years' time. So let's say around about the birth of SAA. So we're talking sort of October, November 2019. From that time, when I had my first $1,000 day, to now where I'm sort of sitting anywhere between like 15 and 30K a month, and growing as well. It is on the upward trend. And that's less than 2 years. Like, that's crazy. And you can make a pretty strong argument for the fact that I've been very fortunate with SAA and different things like that. But at the same time, our students, a lot of them are just like completely blowing up in a very, very short space of time, just with some very focused effort. So it doesn't have to take ages to build that up. And the cool thing is, once you do have a brand, you can literally monetize anything as well, by the way. SAA started without funnels, without any modules done, without any student results, because we had no students. All we had is an idea and a vision of what we felt was needed in the industry. And we were able to sell, I think, like 30 or 40 beta spots of that. Because, and to give you an idea, I think this group, so affiliate marketing faction, had about 400 people in it. It's not like I had a huge audience. I think Jacob might have had like 1,800 people in his group, give or take. I think Chris was about the same as me, like 400 or 500 people in this group. So not exactly huge audiences. So it goes to show the power of having a personal brand. You can sell anything. I mean, that was literally, we sold nothing. There was nothing. It was not like, cool, okay, now that you've signed up, you get to go and read through this manual and you get this amazing video. It's just like, sweet, thanks for the cash. We'll tell you what the next steps are once we've sorted it out. Wasn't quite as disorganized as that, but you kind of get the point. All right, on that note, I'm going to bounce. Much work to do. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to learn along the way as well. And those of you joining me via YouTube, hopefully you got some value out of this. Feel free to hit that like button, drop a comment. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.